slamming up and down. So you got to be able to control the timer on it. So he built a board for that and dropped it off the other day. And then, alright, I gotta go look around. I know I got wire ties around here. Hold on, guys. Alright, so here's a little dilemma. Just a little one. I have one of these things. You know what I mean? Okay. The wire tie could go in either way. Up, down, left, right, right, left, down, up, whatever. I tried to put one of the ties into it and then put a little dab of CA on it. And because the CA is so liquidy, so thin, that it ran right onto the wire tie, and you know, regardless of how little I tried to use. So I said, well, let me put that on first. So I put that in there. It's a real pain in the ass to get to down in there. I don't know if you can even see where I have it at this point. But it's right about where the light's shining, behind that yellow and orange wire, right there. Up in there. Anyway, I need to put it there first, so I did. Now you got to use needle nose to get your hand in there, because I got to get those wires tied up. Well, you're getting in there with it to find out that the glue sealed the hole. So now, what do you do? And the problem being is it's got to be something that holds relatively quick, because you don't want to stand here for 10 minutes, and you're not going to be able to hold it still enough for 10 minutes. Now, my next train of thought is turn it on its side if I can. It's a good thing it's not real heavy. Now, with it there like that, I'm wondering, here's what my train of thought is now. Taking the wire and see if I can clear that out. Or I'm going to have to waste it, and I don't want to really do that. So let me, these are not cutters, are they? No, they're strictly long needle nose. Okay, so I got that cut. This through here. Stop it. Going any further and unraveling. Now see if I can get this up in there. Take a smaller bite out of it. And again, trying to do this without a good pair of glasses. It's right there. I just don't want to come through. That's the problem. I see it. Okay. We got it through. Well, that's a start. However, it's not what I want. I'd rather have a zip tie, or a wire tie. Wiggle it and wobble it a little bit here. It may work now. Let's find a long, let's use the black one. Not with my big paw in the way, I'm not. Maybe? Maybe? Come on. Well, we got in one. The thing is, the little bend on it is bending downwards. So it doesn't want to slide right through. You see, where the, I think it was in New Mexico, a couple of cops went to the wrong address on the house and killed the owner. That was a tough one. And that's going to be a tough one to call. Now, here's the story. They went to the wrong address. If you've seen the video, you'll know what I'm talking about. They get a call to go to 3508 blah blah street. They parked their car. It was a domestic, I think. They parked their car, what looked to be, this is like 11 o'clock at night. They parked their car what looked to be maybe 2 or 3 houses down, and they're walking. They walk up the driveway, and the garage is right there. And the garage is part of the house. You know, the house kind of goes like this, and the garage. Front door is there. Right on the garage. Big. 3505. Blah, blah. Humpty Dumpty Street. Well, they were called to go to 3508, La-di-da, Humpty Dumpty Street. All the lights are off in the house. There's no noise, no commotion, nothing. They knock on the door, blah, 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 blah. This is the police department. Can you please open the door? No answer. Well, it's an older couple. Well, not older couple. He was, I think, 52, they said in the paper, or on the video. So it could be he's in bed. Who the hell knows? All the lights are off. However, when you're an officer, you don't know. That's what makes this one a tough one. Because, you know, you're approaching something, you don't know if the domestic is over, if they're being quiet in there, they're all dead. You don't know. And you don't want to just start busting in the door. So after 3 attempts of knocking on the door, aha, we're there. Stay. Let me get my hand in there if I can, I'll hold it. Yeah. Bingo, we're done. So after 3 attempts of knocking on the door, there's 2 of them, another officer comes and said, "You're not at the right address," or something to that effect. And they go, 3508. No? He goes, yeah, it's 3505. Oh, and they get a little chuckle out of it, and they're walking away. Now, as they're walking away, they get about 25, 30 feet from the door. Porch light comes on, door opens, and the guy's opening the screen door this way. Here's the problem. One of the problems. When he's opening the door, he doesn't know who he's opening the door to, because we don't know, one, if he's hearing okay, and what part did he actually wake up at to get to the door. Because there was a little bit of a lull between the police department, you know. So anyway, besides all that, as he's opening the screen, he has a gun in his hand. Again, not knowing who's banging on his door, you know, possibly at this point. He's got a gun in his hand. He's opening the door. It looks like he's aiming at the cop. Now, I'm sure he wasn't, because that would be just stupid. Because, you know, they're at the wrong address to start with, you know. And if you could tell that it's a uniform, you know, are you going to shoot? That's kind of, you know, like, hello. But, like I say, it was dark out. So you really don't know the whole scenario on the other side of the body cam. They shoot. They shoot the shit out of him. He goes down. They call in, shots fired, shots fired, shots fired. They're walking around, they're standing back. They're on the radio saying that they're standing back. Basically they're waiting for a little bit more backup. They're waiting for the, EMT or something, if they're coming, if they're not. I don't remember hearing them say anything about sending an ambulance. However, they may have. Apparently now the wife is coming to the door. She opens the door and sees her husband on the ground, right at the door there, bleeding, dead, and she starts to scream and yell. They shoot her! Or they shot at her anyway. Bam, 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 from both angles. Field day, practice, Anyway, they went to the wrong address and they shot the owner of the house dead, 52 years old. The owner had a gun. It does show on the body cam. It doesn't show that if he's actually pointing it at him or because of the screen door is open and he was using that arm to open the door with. Was that a mistake on his part? Hello? Because sometimes we don't think. But they shot him. Now, if they didn't go to the wrong address to start with, this would have never happened. That's what makes it tough. The shooting may have been justified because of the gun possibly pointing at them and not holding the door. Who knows? The body cams at night, it wasn't all that great. But if they didn't go to the house to start with, the wrong address, which the numbers were, like I'm saying, 1 foot numbers, 3505. And they're looking for 3508. They walked right by the numbers they showed on their body cam. So anyway, what the hell do you do in that case, really? The guy's dead. Something's got to be from it. Yeah, he may have been pointing a weapon at you, but we don't know why. We don't know if he would have shot or if he was just opening the door and it was part of the door opening. If you got a gun in your right hand and your door opens to the right, what are you going to do? One of these? You know what I mean? Yeah, and you just do what you normally would do. So he probably walks out the door, and when he opens up the door, normally, everyday activity, he probably just opens the door like that and he walks out. You push the door open. I don't open a right-handed door from the left side. Unfortunately, he had a gun in his hand. And on top of that, it looked like he was aiming at them. Whatever it is, it was a bad day. And the cops should be charged with something. The wife, if she's still alive, I think she is. I don't know if they actually hit her or if they actually realized afterwards that, we're shooting at the wrong person here. I don't know. The body cams, they have 3 of them. None of them are really crystal. You're listening to the narrator, which is part of the department, telling you what's going on. The suspect, he wasn't a suspect. He was a homeowner at home sleeping. Aimed a gun. Well, he's opening the door. The gun happens to be in the hand. When I do a class, and I tell my students about certain things, this is one of the things I explain to them. Just practicing with a gun and going to the range is one thing. But you have to start actually changing your way of life to a point as well. Because you have to pay attention as to what you're doing all the time. Especially if you have a gun in your hand. You know? Yeah, you open the door with your right hand, you got a gun in your right hand. Maybe you should put the gun down. Maybe you should put the gun in your left hand and keep it down. And not be opening the door with it, but he probably wasn't thinking. He's doing what is natural, what so-called muscle memory tells him to do. Okay, now I'm working on a set of eyes here. This set seems to be okay. This set is where we have a cluster of wires. Now that little piece there, I can probably just glue that one down. So I don't see a problem with that one. Where does it go though? That's what I want to know. Okay, that is a blue and black, if I remember right. So where's that blue and black go? It goes up this way. Does it give me enough on the other side here? Probably not. Let me see. Blue and black, blue and black. Okay. You know what? Yeah, I think I'll have more there. I think I'll be okay. Keep it that way for now. Let's see what the wife is beeping me about. I think that's the wife. I asked for Kim to give me a call. I don't think she had done this yet. Oh, this is a scam. I don't know if you get them or not, but if you do, basically what it's saying is that the USPS message, due to an unpaid shipping fee, and they want you to start giving them numbers. Alright? Don't even open it, just delete it. Delete, delete, and block. Because they're coming through like crazy. Let's get rid of this one while we're at it. Delete. Here we go. Okay, so I'm waiting for Kimbo to give me a call. Okay, now this one, if I can get, I think I can. Aha, I know I can. I know I can. This is pinched. There we go. Okay. How far are we pinched? That's what I want to know. It's up there. Okay. Get rid of this one. All right. Good. Good. Try some of this stuff. Now what I want to do is prop up the back. Prop up the back. Oh, over here. It was over here. Where'd you go, George? What is this? why I wanted to prop up the back, because I'm putting some of this glue that's going to take a little bit of time to dry, and I want it to run down under the eyelid. I don't care where it goes from there, but I just want to get it down under. Down under. Alright, so what little time I've been out here, I've been shutting the camera on and off, but what little time I've been out here, what little time? I started work, let me see here, because I did put the timer on it. I started working on this at 12:35, and it is now 4:09. You know, and what'd I get done? I got a couple wires tied up. You know what I mean? That's what takes so long. Everything is a fucking chore unless you take everything apart. And even then it'll be more of a chore because you gotta put it all back together again. I mean, I got enough of this apart. Okay, I wanted to try to work on the voice module today, but I don't think that's going to happen. Tripping over a bunch of shit. Alright. I mean, I don't know if you remember right, but this horn was falling off. Plus, it had dug in to this because it was being turned back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So we had a big gouge in there, so I had to fiberglass all that in again. And then I put this little standoff, which is made of a PVC board, retighten down the horn. The light, I had to take that apart so that it will rotate when you turn it on, because they wanted it to turn on, not they wanted, but what it had done, what it used to do, was it would turn on with one remote and then it would turn with another. You follow? Well, why do we need that? If it's on, it's going to turn. You know, so let it turn. This wasn't working at all. Now it's working. The base of this was falling off. I had to take and fix that because it ripped out of the fiberglass. So I had to put a support up underneath it. The chimney was okay. I did have to take it all apart though, or take it off. And then at that point, I had to do some painting, which I still have to do a little touch up here and there. I may give it back to them and let them do the little touch up. I'll give them a little brush. I'll give them the paint that I mixed. This is the only thing I have left. This is almost full. This would be enough to paint this whole thing one more time if they need to. If not, I'm going to have to mix it, which means we're going to have to paint it all again because I don't think I can match that color. Now, if I went to like a Sherwin-Williams store or Pittsburgh or something like that, they may be able to mix color, oil-based color. But Home Depot doesn't. They can only mix latex, so they say. Again, sometimes the people that are working there don't know too much about what they're selling. And it's not their fault, you know. They get a job, and sometimes it's just the training. And sometimes it's the training and they just can't train. Some people are not trainable. Some people take longer to train. Not everybody's the same. So, alright, now I do have some 6,000, which I was thinking about putting that down there, but I want to make sure that that is going to dry first, and I think that's going to be okay. Is it drying? It's actually dry. I wonder if I should try putting a little 6,000 in there, because it does flex a little bit, but other stuff doesn't. Let's see, what do we have here? Can I get a little bead on it? Just a little bit. just a little extra support and rub it down in. There we go. I think that might do it. Okay. So that'll help. I can do a little touch up on that. That's not a big deal. Now these eyes are not going to go side to side. There is another servo in there so that the eyes will go back and forth. I really don't want to get involved. If we can get them to open and close, that's fine. Going back and forth. I mean, not unless we tie them into the same system. Dinner is done. Okay. Send. Exit. Delete. Okay. Alright, so that's where we're at, guys. I'm going to let it sit like that overnight, and we'll try to... Yeah, tomorrow's coffee day. Coffee day. Tomorrow is Monday. Oh, let me put a lid on that. If not, it's going to get harder than it is. The stuff is really close to being like no good. It's still okay, but it's starting to stiffen up. I'll leave it out just in case. What I do with the hardener? What I do with the hardener? I put the hardener in the box. I don't think so. We should have a tube of hardener around here someplace. Sour Patch Kids. Oh.